Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, so I just finished a page. I just finished Corbo page 12. Here it is. I'm going to consider this to be finished right here, and I don't have page 13 yet. On 13, we were going to have Corbo jumping into the air sub, and I think we're going to have him blast his way out, or we're going to have Aura shoot a wall or something, and then and then the air sub takes off, and he gets out as well. All right, maybe it'll be even cooler to escape through the underwater tunnel. It makes more sense actually to escape through the underwater tunnel. And but I think he's going to turn around and destroy their. I think I got to figure out how he destroys the dimensional portal first. Right, that's got to be part of the story. But as promised, I'm going to show you some before and after I started taking Kubert classes. Well, here's an example of a comic I did before the Kubert school. This is page 1, and this isn't bad. I've got a foreground here. My drawing is not great. My speech bubbles are terrible. Although I was already using Evil Genius, it was just my favorite of the ones that are in there. But where you can really see the problem is there's no backgrounds at all when I started out. Like it was really kind of too hard to do, and I didn't know a lot of the kind of tricks that you need to make a page go pretty well. So and by the way, the drawing is pretty bad. Like if you look at it, this is the level I was at. Like that's an interesting upshot, but everything's wrong on it. Also, I was very confused about how to get depth, so I was using these midtones as well. And well, among other interesting things that are on there, even though the art is not as good or as practiced, you can see a lot of it's definitely recognizably me. Like you can, the way the hand is done, etc. Even certain shapes. Definitely my hand-drawn sound effects. Lettering is really, like, look how close I am to the edge here. Didn't understand line weights at all. One's kind of messy, but this was as best as I could do in 2020. That's only 4 years ago. And I don't know, maybe you've heard of the 30 days of making comics or the 100 days of making comics. I've actually been making comics since September 2019 every single day. So I haven't missed a day. If there's a day that I wasn't drawing, I was probably doing something else related to comics, to building my comics, either developing or doing some writing or some concepting or things. So let's look at another one. This one's in color. This is definitely 2020. This might be 2021. It's like a year later. And well, it's not great. You can see you can see that it's definitely me. Like look at the tech stuff. I mean, you can see this in Corbo as well. You can definitely see it in the hands and in some of the other things. I've been a student of comic books my whole life because I've always read comics. Like all the way I did the rocks, that's very me. So anyhow, a couple of different things. Sparse on backgrounds. This one's got a background. Okay, that's 2020. And I took my first class. Oh, here's Eel. Now, Eel is definitely 2020. This one's got more backgrounds. This never came out. I actually never finished this one. Well, I did finish it. I didn't letter it. and it's a little bit inconsistent on the way I drew the monkey, for example. I might redo this one because I think this one's pretty good, but basically it's a retelling of Plastic Man, except I renamed the character Eel. When I found out that Plastic Man is basically public domain, but the name Plastic Man is trademarked, I decided to do a Plastic Man comic. My monkey is terrible here. Called Eel, and I still might do it. Some of these are pretty good. Like I really like this this bit that takes place. There's like this sequence that takes place in the carnival where the Rubber Man, instead of having him like saved by monks, he's saved by an Indian Rubber Man who also happens to be a doctor. And then there's the mobsters, the gangsters. My art is really challenged here, I gotta tell you. And then, yeah. I mean, I just gotten through reading the original Jack Cole Plastic Mans and Police comics, because I discovered that Comic Book Plus. And I remember this is the first time I had done a borderless panel where he gets threatened by the mobsters. He's like, "We need a safecracker, and you've got to join us." They kind of threaten him. They think that Eel is dead at this point, and they've forced him to join. One of these guys is named Bonehead. He's like a skull-faced guy. I was kind of mixing in some Dick Tracy elements, and they're in the museum, and of course Eel is following along, and he knocks over a specimen. They go in there. And then it's Eel and the monkey go and take these guys out. Oh, and they're about to, after he finishes unlocking the safe. Look, there's a safe cracking sequence. I just did that again in Corbeau. So, in a lot of ways, certain things haven't changed. So, after this comic was already done, and they've chosen the life of fighting against crime. The first one I did after my first Kubert. Let me show you my first Kubert class, because I think I actually have it in here. It's not this one, and it's not this one. I saw it the other day. I remember I was taking inking when I did that one. It might be on my computer, so it's on my other computer. So I don't know if I can show it to you, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that one's on the computer. I think one of those things that pops up on OneDrive, like your memories from, from that. It's not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. I mean, we're at the beginning of 2024, but really in 2023. I would say within a couple of years. Just within 2 or 3 years, I was able to do some of my first paid work, which is in here. Oops. And now I'm looking back at that and thinking I could do way better than that. And now I've got to this point. Well, this is the thing I'll be working on tonight on the live stream, which is the cover for, I believe this is for Delver, and you can see it's really tightened up pretty good. So where do you find these courses? Okay, so I can show you a little bit about that. If you go to Google and just look up Kubert School online and look for the online studies one, rather than enrolling in the full program. I can't enroll. I'm fully employed. I have a full-time job. You can see that they have an online studies program, and it's $220 per class. 6 weeks, you get a real teacher, and it's a shortened version of the real class, because the teacher is going to give you assignments, and you're going to get critiqued. And in the last one, the first ones I took and the last one I took, you actually got like graded, and the middle ones that I've taken, like the ones I've taken over the last year and a half or so, they didn't really give you a grade other than, you know, congratulations, you got through the course. I've taken like 6 of these courses. Oh, I know where you know what? I can show you. I just remembered where all that stuff is. So, how you take the classes. Let me go to Google Classroom. And you can see this is the last one I did, which was drawing sequential pages. But if I go to Classroom right here, and I look at Archive Classes, I can go all the way back to the look at this is how many classes I've taken. Very first one is, I've taken 9. So the very first one I took was Narrative Art. And this was during the lockdown, this is 2020. And I said, critique welcome. And this one was this was a guy that's digging someone up, and I was using a lot of like black and white. These are roughs, by the way, so that if they look rough, they're meant to be kind of rough. Let's see if I got another one. Have I got another one? I know I looked at these earlier. You know what? I think if I did that. Oh, crud. Well, anyways, so I've got access to all of it. It's all still out there. Let me go back to the classroom and show you this again. Whoops. Google Classroom. When I get to my archive pages again, archive classes. The Tom Mandrake. And that was at the end of class. At the beginning of class, it's pretty challenging. Okay, you can actually see the dates on here. May 5th, 2020. Not that long ago, really, right? And you can see that there's commentary below, but when you actually take the class, up here at the top, well, it doesn't have the link anymore, but you would actually click in, it starts up your video, and you're on video. And it's a Zoom classroom, or it's a Google Classroom is what it is. These are some of the assignments. These are some scripts he had us doing. All right, this is from Red Sonja. These are roughs. And you know, it's funny for me to look at, and I can definitely see it's definitely my style has not changed, but my writing's gotten, I mean my art has gotten a lot tighter. Here's another one I did. Oh, that's okay. So I was doing Corbeau around the same time. And they're giving you, oh, she gave me pretty good comments. I think the Darkest Dark looks better. This is back when I was doing feel free to be brutal. That's what it says over there. These are roughs for Red Sonja again. Yeah, I think my drawing was really challenged back around that time. Well, anyways, I moved on from that one. I eventually did, let's take a look. Did this one with Jan Duursema, and the cool thing about Jan Duursema is, I'm actually a big fan of hers. She's married to Tom Mandrake, who is my first teacher. But, I think that's what it's supposed to be. But she did all these, and I've had these for a while. The whole run of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons comics were all done by Jan Duursema. But here's the part that kind of makes me laugh: is these were done, of course, in the 80s. This was done in 1988, and her art is awesome. One of the things that she teaches and really stresses is how to avoid a left-hand stack. But issue 1 of Advanced D&D, this is a left-hand stack. It starts right out with one. Like, so it's not like Everybody makes this mistake. It's one of those things. This is a right-hand stack, which isn't as bad, but it is confusing because you go right from here to here to here, back down to here. So you're actually like this would have gotten a big ding in the class. But I really loved that class. She was great. She's a great teacher. Fantastic. And it kind of goes to show you, you know, how much is learned. Anyways, I have almost the entire. I'm missing issue 2, so if you have issue 2 of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the comic, laying around, please let me know. All right, so please like, follow, and subscribe. We're going to have more comics. Oops, there it is. Later today, I'm doing my live stream at 6 p.m. I'm gonna open this thing, which I just got. This is a 52 Toys Kyrin, and it's like one of those transforming robots that comes out of a cube. I've actually got 2 different of these robots. This is the Kyrin. I've also got an owl over there, but I think we're gonna unbox it and try and put it together on the stream today. And I might eventually get a couple more of these. They're really cool. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna have to get a little razor out to open it up. But anyways, please like, follow, and subscribe, and there'll be more comics every day. Definitely check out to the Kubert Online courses. The ones I recommend are the narrative art, or what I'm taking most recently is sequential art. I think it's the same class. And traditional inking. And I think right now, I believe it's JP Buzzio teaching traditional inking. I've taken it from Joe Prado as well. It's very worth it. Inking goes, even if you're a digital guy, take traditional inking because you'll learn a lot about line weights, and line weights are super important for when you're completing your drawings. I hate to use the word rendering. I know that's the correct word, but rendering to me has turned into this this thing I don't like, because I look at most of the comic art now as over rendered. It's kind of overdone. It doesn't look illustrated. It doesn't look like this anymore. Most comic art, it has digital gradients in the background and everything's kind of overdrawn. It doesn't look or feel natural. It's not really pleasant to read, but this stuff totally was. It's good stuff. All right. Talk to you later.